And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final day, day number 3 here of HomeStory Cup 27. It's been an intense weekend of StarCraft. We've made it here to the final day to crown our HomeStory Cup 27 champion. Let's go, baby, let's go. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. It was an intense group stage here. We had 4 groups. We have 6 players in each, and only 2 made it through into the playoffs. And now we have our final bracket ready for us. Exclamation mark B as we head on over to check out the bracket ourselves here. We have 8 amazing players. Bam! Oh, there we go. There we go. We have 8 amazing players here, and they are going to be facing off in our double elimination format. Let's go. Double elimination bracket, I should say. We have SOS versus uThermal coming up first on the channel, actually. Let's go, let's go. We have a PvT between SOS and uThermal. We have likewise Showtime versus Lambo. That's going to be over on the mainstream. We have Zound versus Big Gay versus Hero Marine, and Ryung versus Baby Marine. We got 4 Terrans, we got 2 Protoss, and we got 4 Terrans, 3 Protoss, and we got 1 Zerg as well. We got at least some variety here in the bracket, some variety in the playoffs here, which we do appreciate. Again, the mainstream, we're going to be covering the German boys with Showtime and Lambo, and the mainstream will also be covering Big Gabe versus Zound as well. So they're going to be covering those 2 matches in the quarterfinals. Are going to be covered by the mainstream. We are going to be covering SOS uThermal alongside Ryung and Baby Marine. Oh boy. When it comes to what else is going to be on the channel here, depending on how fast or how slow these first set of matches are, that will determine whether or not we also cast the upper bracket semifinals as well. If they're really fast matches and we blaze through this and we're ahead of schedule, then the mainstream will cover everything moving forward. If these are longer matches, because these are all best of 5s, I should also emphasize best of 5s, these are all best of 5s. If these are longer matches, if we go into a longer 5-game series, long late game as well, if this takes more time, then we will be most likely covering the upper bracket semifinals 2 at a time. So we'll be covering one, mainstream will covering the other. So we're a little bit more fluid, we're a little bit more versatile when it comes to whether or not we keep casting after the upper bracket quarterfinals. We'll see, depends on how things turn out. Otherwise, again, shout out to the mainstream, of course. I believe Fiant and Mana alongside Eon Blue and I think Eon Blue, Fiant and Mana, they're going to be covering, they're going to be casting over on the mainstream. Much love to Eon Blue, much love. Near and dear to our hearts. So they're going to be covering the initial match over on their stream. Yeah, sorry, it's going to be Mana, Fiant, and Loco. That's it. So the 3 of them are going to be casting the first series, the first match. So best of luck, best of luck. Meanwhile, Jesus, we got a lot of people joining our lobby. We're going to be joined by Indy, Funka, alongside some others as well. Let's go. Just catching up with the chat. Eon Blue's in the production. Oh, okay. Oh, he might be observing. I know that Eon Blue, he was observing last HomeStory Cup, so he might be opting to observe a little bit as well. Possible. Here we go. Just catching up. SOS versus uThermal will be good. Yeah, for sure. It's going to be intense, pipe. It's going to be intense. Again, uThermal, he surprised us all. I didn't even get to talk about the groups themselves, but again, I do recommend the VODs. We've had 2 long days of StarCraft already, so I do recommend checking out the VODs here for the group stage. We had Ryung versus Lambo making it out of Group A, of course, in 1st and 2nd place. Mana had a good showing, barely did not quite make it through. We had Showtime and Baby Marine making it out in Group B. That was the big surprise. I kind of glossed over the fact that Baby Marine is in the top 8, but yes, Baby Marine, he actually advanced on over Spirit and over Jumi, so really strong showing, and I would say upsets there from Baby Marine. He's popping off, not a baby anymore, young Marine. let's go. We got old Yakov and we got young Marine. And Showtime Baby Marine, they make it out of Group B. Group C, we had Zound and uThermal. Speaking of upsets, uThermal also causing some upsets here. Fun fact, uThermal, he was the number 4 seed of the group. Geralt and the Laser were ahead of him, at least seeding wise, based on their performances, of course, over the past couple of years. So yeah, for uThermal to bring them down was a very pleasant result, a very surprising result, I should say. That led into this, the fact that uThermal making it into the top 4, into the top 8. Really impressive play there by uThermal, does make it through. All that 2v2, it's been paying off, Bappy. It's been paying off. Oh my god. It's really cool to see. And scrolling down, we have SOS and Big Gabe. This was, I would say, I would say that it was I would say that Gabe was favored to make it out in first place. It was a little bit more up in the air as to who would come out in second though. Like SOS, he popped off. He had a really strong showing here in Group D. I would say a little bit surprising that he came out in first place and not Gabe. So really impressive play there by SOS. Again, shout out to Sebestes, Harstem, Diego, and Chino also making them all work for it as well. Was some close matches. In the end, like, yeah, Gabe and SOS do make it through, and we have our final top 8 players. It's gonna be amazing, gonna be beautiful. As a reminder, again, these are gonna be best of 5s, not best of 3s, so longer matches, longer series at least. But I don't know if I expect longer matches between these two players. SOS, he's not as cheesy as he used to be. I think an example of that, if you're watching him during the group stage, is we saw a lot more greed out of SOS more than anything, and less aggressiveness. Like SOS, he does have a legacy behind him full of cheese and aggression and all-ins, but nowadays he's a little more tame. I will say he's a little more tame, a little bit more reserved. He does have some unique builds, but I wouldn't say as anywhere near as chaotic or cheesy or crazy as they once were back in the day. And again, from what we saw last night, there was just a little more standard play, a little more macro play, a little more economic greed out of SOS, but we'll see how that translates to this series. I would say that uThermal, he was very aggressive. Not cheesy, but aggressive. Like, uThermal, he was going for a lot of drop play. He was very much so in the face of his opponent as well. I mean, I say not cheesy. He did go Mass Reaper against a laser, true. he did go 2x Reaper, Mass Reaper against a laser, and did tear him apart there, so that's also something that happened. So uThermal, he has been a little bit more spicy in his play, and in general, I do think that nowadays he is a player that does take a little more risks than he used to back when he was a full-time competitive player. There were some people that were asking as well, especially because of uThermal's insane results here, like, yo, uThermal, like, why doesn't he compete anymore, right? Like, he's doing really well here in this tournament, surprisingly well. But I mean, he also addressed it himself previously, how he prefers not competing anymore. Like, right now he's like playing stress-free. Like, he's playing stress-free. He doesn't have to worry about like a team or any big expectations or anything like that. Like, he can just, you know, like, he can just clown around in the games and have some fun and take some names, baby. So a bit of a different vibe, or a much more stress-free environment here for uThermal. And here he's able to thrive a little bit more as a result. He's able to thrive. I remember it was similar with Chance. If you remember Chance, the Korean Protoss, I remember that he retired, went to the military, came back, and he came back to play more as a hobby, and he was getting some really good results. And I remember asking him, he's like, I'm just playing for fun, papi. Like, I don't even practice as much as I used to, but like, because he has so much less expectations for himself, there's just so much less stress. There's just so much less stress on Chance, and he was getting better results than when he was grinding and playing full-time. So something maybe similar can be applicable to some other players as well, specifically to players that do stress out maybe a little bit more and do put a lot of pressure on themselves, specifically for those kind of players, where if that were the case, again, sometimes a different outlook, a different perspective, a different kind of scenario like this can benefit them at times. Can benefit them. But here we go. We're now getting into our next match. We're getting into our first series of the broadcast. Players are ready, and game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. Let us go. He's a YouTuber man. He's the content man, papi. He's the content man. Let's go. As we are jumping into the first game. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player. We have the player from the land of the Netherlands, living in Mexico, of course. It is uThermal. And what is he? He's remarkable. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is sOs. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our TVP. Here we go. And again, uThermal, he was very active yesterday against Geralt. I was very surprised. I was very impressed by uThermal's play, getting to a standard economic opener. I don't think we saw a single double gas opener, by the way, out of uThermal in last night's broadcast. But he did go for more economic starts, into drop heavy play, and into intense pushes. More often than not, was sneaking sneaking out across the map, was avoiding scouting, was avoiding vision, and sneaking up on Geralt time and time again, taking down the 3rd base, the 4th base, and pulling Geralt apart. We'll see if uThermal can replicate that success here against sOs. Let's go. And again, I don't really expect anything too crazy out of sOs here in these initial matches, but we'll see, as he is one to typically open up standard in TPP. Oh, I say that for now. Gate Cyber Expand, so he's going to be delaying his Nexus a little bit here. This is a little bit more standard here, going for the initial Zealots. We'll see as he does scout across the map. And he should be canceling this. Never mind. True. As we just mentioned, uThermal, he's been known for economic openers, so we're going for the Zealot to rally across the map to delay the CC. Okay, let's go. Zealot is rallied. uThermal going for the CC on said, oh, actually, never mind. Racks into factory on 1 base into a delayed CC. uThermal playing safe. uThermal playing much safer here. With that, you can see he's checking for proxies. He's going to be scouting. As we mentioned, sOs isn't really known for that sort of thing here nowadays, but he does move out with the Zealot, and with this probe, he can look to set up a reinforcement point as well. Okay. So Zealot moves out. And again, the goal of this Zealot is to delay the CC. Is to delay this CC that's on the low ground. sOs, he saw the factory timing. From here, we're going to an add-on swap. It's going to be, oh, okay, add-on swap onto reactor in Hellion production. Zealot's on the way. There is a Marine to defend, but again, the CC is going to be delayed, and the probe is in position for a proxy setup. Zealot will delay. Nice start here from sOs. He'll zone away uThermal. Will contain uThermal on a 1 base economy that much longer. Hellions have arrived. It should clean this up, but here comes the Adept to reinforce. Adept does move in. Getting a lot of hits here in the Hellion. Behind this, we do have 2 more gateways back at home. This is very aggressive by sOs, going for 2 more gates and setting up for a proxy 4th gateway. Okay, so hyper aggression here in the follow-up from sOs. And the scary thing here is, remember, uThermal, no SCV scout, no Reaper scout. He does have Hellions, and he has to rely on these Hellions for scouting information. He has to figure out what's going on. He has to get a read on the gateway count. But the problem here, the Hellions were scouted, and we do see sOs with a full wall, or at least looking to full wall. And what is he hiding? He's hiding no tech, no Twilight Council, no Stargate, no Robo. They get extra gateways, and the probe is moving back out. Again, I would imagine for a proxy. Island is set. Hellions, they do break through. Not bad. Yeah, they break the way through. 3 Hellions, they can one-shot probes. 1 worker already gonna be going down. He gets 1, he gets 3, he gets 4. Nice damage. 4 probe kills, rotates over, heads into the main, and this is what's important here. Again, a 3-gate setup. Oh, boys are being pulled. 6 probes going down. Meanwhile, across the map, we are reinforcing. Stalkers are moving in, and sOs, he just sends it. He just sends it across the map. Again, the lack of tech here is a tell that something is wrong. Now he knows. We have forward mines to defend. Soon to be 6? Jesus, what? 6 forward mines are set up. SCVs are going to be going down. So far, nice connection. Remember, there's no blink. So shot goes off, takes down one of the stalkers. Thermal coming into the mine drop. Mining is denied here at the natural, and uThermal, he has to evacuate. Yeah, he has to evacuate the natural base. He has to pull out. Mine drop is moving in. Army is spotted. Oh, and yeah, so he did notice. Yeah, did notice. There's the defensive warp in. He's aware. He's getting ready. Robo follow-up out of sOs. And uThermal is still going for it. Still going for the dive. Boost into the mineral line. The army's in position. Wouldn't mind they attempt to borrow. Oh, probes are stacking up. Oh my god, massive connections. Yeah, with that, sOs he does not react in time, does not pull away, does not split. So more importantly, that's going to be 9 probe kills. And now we're in a weird game state where we have uThermal on a 1 base economy, but he has a higher SCV count. sOs, he has to rebuild. He has to remax. He has a ways away to catch up. From here, going to 2 base Colossus, going for the Bay. Meanwhile, uThermal, he has to retake control of his own natural. He has to retake control. Oh no! Medevac does boost away. Tank is in position, and uThermal can now expand. And remember, there's no real threat to uThermal's tank here, or there's no dive potential because there's no blink. Remember, there's no blink, there's no Twilight Council. Like, this is a vanilla gateway army. So it takes that much more to try to break this position, especially with 2 tanks. Like, sOs, he should not be able to break this. Just containing. Just trying to contain, I should say. So uThermal, he's safe. uThermal is safe. Observer goes into the main, gets eyes on the setup, ensuring that there is no cloak Banshee. So no tech lab, no cloak. uThermal, yeah, he spots the observer. No! Ah, it does get away. Barely does slip away here. And brutal scan. Ooh, Liberator runs into the army. And mispathing there from uThermal. Now, as uThermal regains control of his natural, I will say that this is a better economic position here for uThermal. The downside, or the scary thing here, is SOS going into a 2-base all-in. Does he expand? Right now, he's building up Colossus on 2 bases. He should be taking a third. He should be expanding, he should be taking a 3rd base from here, as he contains his opponents, but we'll see. It's up to SOS. Like, it's been a very quirky start here to game 1. Here comes uThermal's move out. Now, when it comes to uThermal and his vision, he saw the Robo, he didn't see the Bay, but seeing the Robo tech instead of the Twilight Council, he can assume it's going to be Colossus. Like, he can make that assumption. Obviously, that's not 100% confirmed. For all he knows, it could be just Immortal production to a 2nd Robo. Scan reveals a 3rd base is late, so now he knows that there must be tech waiting for him. Like, this base is very, very late. On the one hand, it means that maybe uThermal can knock it down, but there we go. Another scan. Now he knows. Yeah, now he has confirmation. He's aware of the Colossus. Now he knows what he's moving into. Does he share time? And uThermal will see if he can break through. Oh no! Liberator once again gets caught out. Does survive. uThermal pushing forward. Tank volley's going up. He does focus on the Colossus. Colossus should go down, but what about the rest of the army? What about the Immortal? Yeah, SOSC breaks through. SOSC will clean this up. He will clean this up. Again, there's just not enough support for these tanks. Yeah, uThermal, upon seeing this, he should have backed off here, recognizing that, again, the base was late. There was no saturation. No reason to push out. And SOS holds. He does hold. Now he can start to saturate. And from here, SOS is able to shut down the main army. Now he can freely expand and freely saturate. uThermal has to lick his wounds, and now landing his own 3rd TC. His tank count was reset, so 0 tanks. And we shouldn't be seeing any more from here. Just going to be bio-mine. And from here, uThermal can go for drop play at least. And I still give the edge to uThermal here. Like, this was a better engagement. This was a better fight, a better moment for SOS, for sure. But he's still behind tech-wise. Like, right now, he's going to the Twilight Council, into the Forge, +1, into Blink. And what this means here is that his army is very immobile. So if uThermal were to go for drop play, it would be difficult for SOS to keep up. Like, already, this one Liberator, for example, 3 probe kills, pulls away. Like, it's just difficult to react and difficult to shut it down. Here we go, double drop towards the left-hand side. And I do really like this here from uThermal. Again, just abusing the immobility of SOS's army. Liberator moves in, causes a distraction, gets a Stalker, is going to go down. uThermal poking forward, and again, this should just be a distraction. He should back up. Retreats, here comes a drop into the mineral line, and this is meant to deal damage. It gets a couple of workers. It doesn't quite get the Robo, but does get 6 probes, not bad. The matchup going off, trades well against the Zealots. At the same time, moving on the right-hand side, but does run into the army. And from here, uThermal picks up and he pulls away. And you can see here, he barely lost anything. He lost like, what, 3-4 units? So a better trade for uThermal. Getting 7 probe kills. Doesn't take down the Robo, doesn't do critical damage, but nice damage nonetheless. And the drop play continues. Meanwhile, it's going to be charge here from the side of SOS. Going to a Zealot heavy composition. Observer does spot the main army. SOS is aware, he reacts. He responds. You can see him, yeah, he does split here towards the natural. He's ready for the drop. He's ready for one drop. Is he ready for the other? Because as this is happening, we do have a drop into the main, or sorry, into the 3rd base even. Does unload. SOS, he does react. Pulls away in time. Shouldn't lose too much. uThermal moving in. So if SOS is keeping up, now he's up to 3 Colossus. Oh, uThermal tempted to dive there, and not quite able to. Drop further into the main. It's getting a bit chaotic here. And uThermal, he's at risk of losing everything. Yeah, he does boost by, and SOS holds. So a shaky, but overall a defense here from SOS. He defends his natural, third, his main base as well. He does bleed out a couple of probes, but nothing major. SOS is holding on throughout all of this though. As SOS, he's like struggling to maintain his 3 bases. uThermal, he's on 3 himself, now getting a 4th CC. Now when it comes to the economy in this matchup, it's important to bear in mind that typically the Protoss player wants to be up in expansion to be even with the Terran, just because of how mules work, just because of how the economy works. But last here, we're even on bases. This does give uThermal a big edge. That's why uThermal has a massive lead here in terms of supply, because he has the greater economy. Now dropping back in, like SOS, he's yet to stabilize. He needs his 4th base up and running as he tries to expand and drop into the main and going for the tech. Going for the expansion even? Yeah, going for the Nexus. Bold move. Nexus does go down. At the same time, diving in the Colossus. Colossus falls as well. And again, SOS's army, it's still immobile. Still in the same predicament here. He will clean this up though, and again, uThermal did overextend or overstay his welcome a little bit. Bleeds out a decent chunk of supply. But overall, remember, he got a Colossus, he got an expansion. Remember, the economy is already stifled here for SOS, and he's still struggling to keep up. Like, the economy is still in the gutter here for the Protoss, and he's still stuck at home. And the drop play continues. And even if at times we see uThermal like trading a little bit inefficiently, it's okay. Like, he can afford it. He can afford to be inefficient. He is now taking a 4th expansion. He can throw away excess units here for a couple of probes here and there, or for a Colossus here and there, and it is still worth it for uThermal. Go, dropping into the natural. Once again, going for the middle line, gets another 9 probe kills. Now going for the expansion, and he should get it. Yeah, there's no saving this. Nexus goes down. 10 probes. From here he can pick up. Then when he runs into the main army, he has to get the hell out of there. Has to pull away, dropping into the main, killing a pylon, and GG gets called. He just pulls SOS apart, and uThermal will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. And if you were here yesterday, you would know that this is how he brought down Geralt as well. Like in uThermal versus Geralt, it was a very similar dynamic. I say similar because Geralt, he did have a more mobile army compared to SOS, but Mark, uThermal, who was doing such a great job at just going for all these counterattacks, drops, distracting the main army, finding damage elsewhere. Instead, in his series, he was finding damage with Banshees, and with drop play as well. Here with mine drops, with other drops as well, with Marines, with Marauders, just pulling SOS apart. It also didn't help the build that SOS went for. Winding it back a little bit here, SOS, remember, what did he go for? He opened up 3-gate. He went for a 3-gate opener with hyper aggression with a vanilla gateway army. Then he followed that up with a Robo into Bay, into Colossus, into a delayed 3rd. But none of that is really ideal when it comes to keeping up with drop play. There was no Stargate, no Phoenixes, there was no Twilight Council, there was never any Blink Stalkers either. So that's why this drop play is even more difficult to keep up with from the side of SOS, because of just the immobility of the army that he had for the entirety of the game. GG. GG, well played. Let's go as we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if this trend continues. We'll see how SOS does adapt as we're getting into the second game of the series. Here we go. Also, in the chat, a big shout out to Jay Paralyze. Pappy, thank you so much for subscribing for 4 months with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Pappy, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you enjoy the content, Pappy. Hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for the support, as always, Pappy, as always. Thank you. I don't understand why you chose CranKy Ducklings, but I understand you definitely know StarCraft. I love this channel. Let's go, anniversary. Esther J Paralyzed. But here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran player himself. We have the player from the Netherlands, leading the series 1-0 in this best of 5 upper bracket quarterfinals match. It is uThermal. And what is he? He's remarkable. He's remarkable. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is SOS. And also a big shout out to Inko0 in the chat as well. Thank you so much, as we actually had back-to-back subscriptions there. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for the first time. Thank you, Pappy, thank you. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you. Do appreciate it. As we're getting into game number 2. Mark in game. Ban Kai. God no. Let's go. Let's go. And yo, speaking of the support in the chat, big shout out to Eva. Eva. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And congratulations for, I believe, getting affiliate, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, thank you so much for the support. And welcome one and all to HomeStory Cup 27. Welcome to the upper bracket quarterfinals. We are here, the CranKy Ducklings. As always, we are the B stream. I think we've been the B stream for HomeStory Cup for the past, like, 3 years, or I'd say 3 years, for the past like 3 or 4 editions of HomeStory Cup. But thank you so much for the raid as we're settling in. And once again, a very safe opener here by uThermal. I say safe opener. It was a Rax into factory into a delayed CC on the low ground off of 1 gas geyser. So the same opener 2 games in a row out of uThermal. Meanwhile, we do have SOS going for his own standard opener as well. Gate, Cyber, Expand. This time SOS, he does not go for the early Zealot. This time he's going for an Adept, and the probe is still out on the map though. We'll keep an eye on SOS. Here we go. So far it's just same build out of uThermal, add-on swap into Hellion, so the exact same opener 2 games in a row. SOS, he is the one that's mixing it up here. Overall, it's his standard opener back at home, but this time he doesn't go for the early Zealot. He moves out with 1, soon to be 2 Adepts to try to wreak some havoc, and he is going for a Robo opener. Okay, now bear this in mind. Last game, it was Robo was the tech of choice in game 1. That is true, but it wasn't a Robo opener. It was a 3-gate opener. This time, much faster Robo out of SOS. From here, we can go into early Immortals. We can go for an early Warp Prism. We can even rush into an early Bay, into early Colossus. So this is much earlier by SOS. Adept does shade into the main, and does threaten the mineral line, but is going to be cleaned up. Does get a full scout at least, is fully aware of the opener, and will delay the CC. Will kill 2 workers. Not bad. Does delay, does disrupt the economy here of uThermal. The probe is still active on the right hand side. Hellions do move out. More importantly, SOS, he does see the massive amount of Hellions coming his way, and SOS, he should try to wall up here. Alas, his Sim is not really ideal, and we'll see if he can deny the scout. We'll see if he can deny the dive. Yeah, we're just going in. We're just setting it. The Adept is going to go down. 3 Hellions, they can one-shot workers. They can, and they will. They bust into the mineral line. So far, they're lining up. Oh my god, 3 probe kills. 3 workers go down. Does scout the Robo. Very important. He's aware. He's aware of the tech. He's aware of the opener. Oh my god, 2 Hellions, they can 2-shot. Jesus. They can. 6 probes going down. This isn't critical damage, but solid damage nonetheless. 6 worker kills for 3 Hellions. And Adept also went down, and a full scout of the main. Now once again, with this, now uThermal knows, okay, no Twilight Council, he doesn't have to worry about Blink, right? There's no Blink aggressively or defensively across the map, so he can freely drop. He can drop to his heart's content. With this, as we mentioned, this does allow for an earlier Bay, for earlier Colossus. We do have an Immortal on the way, but oh, we are supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block there from SOS. Hellion checking with a 3rd base. So far, there's no 3rd expansion. Stalkers are distracted, but the Observer does get eyes on the drop. Ooh, and the medevac is going to be zoned away. Here's zoned back. I don't think we needed to unload, unfortunately. Remember, there was no blink. So we'll lose one of those Widow Mines. Dropping into natural. There it is. Fast Bay, fast Colossus. Drop comes in. Won't get too much damage here. Denying mining time at least. Widow Mine goes down. And SOS will defend. And remember last game as well, I kind of glossed over it, but uThermal, he also popped up with this mine drop. He was able to get, what was it, 6 to 9 probe kills? But this time, barely anything. And again, I do think that uThermal, he just maybe overreacted a little bit when it came to the first engagement, when it came to losing his initial Widow Mine. And checking his vision, he did see the Bay, so he knows. And again, so it's going to be 2 base Colossus here from SOS. Drops back in. SOS does pull away. Yeah, this time SOS is locked in. Behind this, we have our 3-1-1 setup here out of uThermal. Does have his 3-1-1. Building up his tanks, building up his bio. This time, I will say that SOS, he has had a bit of a better early game. I say bit, he still lost 7 probes, right? Like, he still lost some workers, but compared to last game, he's in a better position here. Once again, though, he's taking his gases on 2 bases, and he's going for a late third. So delayed third base in favor of gases, in favor of upgrades, in favor of Colossus. So just really fast Colossus here out of SOS. With this, if uThermal were to go for a 2-base all-in, a really marine heavy 2-base all-in, or like a 3 racks timing or something along those lines, the Colossus would shut it down. Extra gateways, oh my god, we're getting up to 6 gates. So a 6-gate setup here on 2 bases, still no 3rd base in sight. Very committed here by SOS. He does not expand. And uThermal doesn't know. Like, for all uThermal knows, there could be a 3rd, right? There could be a 3rd on the way here, there could be a 3rd on the way here. This drop will give him a little bit more information as to what exactly is going on. But SOS, he is committing on 2 bases. So similarly to last game, I would say that uThermal shouldn't be pushing. I'm referring to the moment where uThermal pushed in towards the 3rd, when he scanned and he saw the 3rd base only just started, and then he decided to push in and he lost his tanks. Similar position here, where the 3rd is only just now starting. Right now we don't need to push out because SOS has been focusing on his army. Oh, there's a cannon. Okay. Medevac is going to go down. Oh. Drop into the main base as well. Does force a recall. Shot goes off. Does catch a stalker. uThermal slipping in. I do like this. The base is low. Remember, the base is late. And can we force a cancel? No shot. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. It looks like he does force a cancel. Massive pickup. And nice catch here from uThermal. Can you do it again? Not quite. Gets 1. Gets 2 sentries as well. The value here is real for uThermal. Very nice damage. Takes down 2 sentries, pulls away, and again he does punish how late this base was. And again, he achieved what he couldn't last game with only a handful of units instead of just the main push, right? Like, he just chills back at home with his main army. Got a lot done with a single drop. Still has a double drop here behind the base. And once again, we see SOS going into... Oh, are we stuck? That should be okay, I believe. Yeah, he's just in position to defend against the drop. But behind this is going into charge. Still no blink, is what I was getting at. So once again, his anti-air is going to be quite limited. But in a head-on fight, that's where SOS can thrive a little bit more. Behind this, uThermal, he's already on a 3-base saturation. SOS he doesn't even have a 3rd because of the cancel and because of how late it was. So uThermal has a booming economy. Now we see uThermal moving in. He does go for the dive. Oop. Thinks about it. Pokes in, pulls away. And again, there's no rush. Like, honestly, right now, there's like uThermal, he's in a really good position here. There's no rush. He can just calm down, get a 4th CC, build up on 3 bases, and be the first to max out. Right now, it's on SOS to defend. To just defend as best he can on 3 bases and eventually get a 4th. With 3 Colossus, I do like his chances in a head-on fight. Yeah, speaking of. But here comes the drop play. Let's go. This is where drops can excel. Gets spotted by the Zonaga. SOS, he's aware. And you can see he rotates over towards the main. But SOS, he's spreading himself thin. You have 2 Colossus in the main base. We have the main army here towards the 4th. The 3rd base is exposed. Then he runs into the main army. Has to pull away, dropping into the main. But again, SOS, he's in position. It's the 3rd base which is vulnerable, but even then, warping in just in case. Thermal does warp. Sorry, SOS does warp in. Thermal dives into the main. Colossus are ready. And with that, he should be able to defend. I say that Colossus taking a lot of hits. Can he get it? Not quite. Yeah, not quite. uThermal, he has to pick up, has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, the drop wasn't too successful. SOS is holding. A better trade for SOS. Again, these Colossus just got so much damage in the back line. So a really good read here from SOS. Likewise, he's here at the natural. Is in position. So SOS just solid reads here on uThermal. This time he's where he needs to be. It's the 4th base which is exposed, but that's not where uThermal hit. 3rd base as well. SOS is just focus on the natural and main defense. Thermal dropping into the main. Jeez, that's a lot of army in the Metamax. uThermal is maxed out. Now, this is where I'm a little bit concerned for uThermal. He's maxed, and if he doesn't do something with this army, if he doesn't trade, then SOS will slowly close that supply gap. So SOS is catching up, and hey, he so far saves the 4th. Ooh, and SOS, he does see the army move out. He has the Zonaga. He notices. SOS, he rotates. He's in position. SOS is keeping up. Drop into the main. SOS out of position. Nothing quite in the main. Okay, he's going for it. Let's go. This time with Vikings. Yeah, this time with Mass Vikings. Does go for the recall. Vikings getting in position. And it's go time. This time he should get Colossus. I say should. Jesus, the shield puts in a lot of work. One Colossus goes down. He gets one. He gets two. And he should get all three, but the Bio army is suffering. One more volley, barely gets to find a Colossus. Yeah, at the same time, does hit the left-hand side, gets another Jesus, how many Colossus were there? wait, hold on. I missed that. 4 Colossus just went down. There's still 2 left over. That's crazy. He had 6. Ay. Yo, we got Colossus for days. And SOS, he's successfully defended. Like this entire time, the past couple of minutes here, SOS has been holding, defending, has been trading his army, but what hasn't he been losing? Workers, right? His probe count has been healthy this entire time. Barely any economic damage. And that lead that uThermal once had is not really there anymore. Not as much, not as heavily. So basically this entire game, SOS, he was just turtling up, defending back at home, and now he breaks out. Now he breaks out for the first time. Nice EMPs. Solid EMPs. Ooh, the ghosts are exposed. Yeah, ghosts are going down. 1, 2. Ghosts gonna be falling. Ay. At the same time, there's a on the left hand side. 6, 7 SCVs gonna be going down. And you can see how the momentum has swung. Now that SOS has kind of reached his final form, he's got +3 upgrades. He has a comparable army size. Now he can start being active on the map. So SOS, he got where he wanted to be. Successfully defended. And things are looking a little bit more dicey here. I just realized +1 is still in the way. uThermal, he was so committed. 0 upgrades. Ay. That I was not expecting. I was so fixated on the drop play, but so was uThermal. Yeah, and the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for SOS. Dropping into the main. I believe recall's not on cooldown. There we go. Recall is being used. Does recall in time. Yeah, Zelt hit the defense. And uThermal's being shut down. uThermal so far is being shut down. SOS is keeping up. It's getting close on the left-hand side. But nice kiting here from SOS. Hey, kites back. The Colossus holds its ground. Drop into the 3rd. This will get damage done. Finally, some worker kills. Alright, some damage, but that may just not be enough here. 7 probe kills. uThermal back into the main. Ooh, oh god, Medevacs are being shut down. Yeah, Blink is now done. And uThermal is running out of steam here. He's losing a lot of supply now. Is getting some probes. Okay, 17 gets a mineral line. Okay, let's go. Does get a mineral line, but SOS is maxed. SOS, he doesn't care. He just goes for a super max army instead, and soon SOS can A move. Soon he can just like bring everything together and just walk across the map. And it's gonna be a tough hold here for uThermal. And speaking of, here it comes. here comes the main army. As SOS does push right through the center, right down mid, towards the natural, and uThermal cannot stop this. He cannot stop this army. It's how many? It's 5 Colossus. Mass Zealot, he's walking in. uThermal, the best chance is base trade. Yeah, he's just going for the base trade, dropping into the main base, dropping it towards the left-hand side, dropping towards the 5th. It's the best chance uThermal has. Even then, it's looking dire. It's looking dire here for uThermal. Does hit a Colossus. We can see SOS, he does not go into the main, so he's going for the fringe bases. Takes out the natural, going for the 4th, going for top right. And remember, SOS, he can always recall. He can always recall back home if need be. He doesn't chase top right. Okay, he's not aware. Not aware of the expansion. Next is going to be going down. As uThermal, he has to get the hell out of here. He cannot lose this army. Ooh, yeah, he's getting caught out. That's going to be 2 ghosts falling. And everything else as well. Yeah, big loss here for uThermal. Bleeds out half of his supply. And again, like in a head-on fight, uThermal just cannot fight SOS. He has to boost away. SOS chasing him down. uThermal, he has 1 mining base top right. Meanwhile, SOS, he has bottom left. He has central left. He has more expansions. And it looks like SOS, he found top right. Yeah, he found the expansion. He's where the planetary. And again, uThermal, he definitely had a lot of potential. He had a lot of potential, and there was definitely a lot of opportunities in the first half of the game. But you saw, like, uThermal, he did lose a lot of his drops, and it just wasn't quite worth it. SOS, he was able to successfully defend. He did his best stats impression. The Shield of Ire, or if not the mouth. He just defended, built up, and then broke out into this. Catching up the army. And again, this exemplifies what we were trying to say at the start of the series as we were getting into this, is that SOS, he's not like the crazy cheesy player that he once was. He's been, at least from what we've seen, a lot more of a greedy player. Not this series though. He's just been very safe. At times to a fault. But late expansions, late 3rd base, late 4th base, but you know, slow and steady for SOS. He got there. As he breaks into the main. And again, never base trade a Protoss, because we can do this. We can just recall. SOS, he recalls back. uThermal GG gets called, and SOS, he will type the series 1-1. We're tied up. Let's go. We have a back and forth. Here we go. We have our back and forth here. We do have a series. Again, uThermal, he was so committed to his drop play, but this time he was unable to do enough damage. He was unable to do critical damage. We saw that SOS, he did a great job at keeping up with the rotations. And more importantly, it took a while for uThermal to deal with the Xel'Naga towers. Both Xel'Naga towers were in control of SOS. He had the observers in position as well. And again, this time just did a much better job at keeping up, at rotating, and at shutting down the drop play of uThermal, even without Blink. Even without it, he was ready, he was in position, and he was able to successfully defend. GG. GG well played. With that, SOS, he did snowball out of control, and now we're getting into game number 3. And we'll see if this style, if we can make this style continue to work here from uThermal, and we'll see if either player adjusts. Do we keep seeing drop play out of uThermal? Do we keep seeing this more defensive turtle style out of SOS? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. So we're getting into game 3. Here we go. So I think uThermal forgot upgrades. Yes. As we were pointing out, like, I don't think it was intentional that uThermal, he forgot his eBay and he forgot his upgrades. I don't think that was intentional. I think he was just a little bit too focused on his drop play. Unfortunately, a little bit overly attentive to them. Where upgrades fall by the wayside. Here we go. Yeah, getting into tokamak. Have a beautiful stream, Pipe. Oh, thank you, thank you. Hi. Plays pretty well while drunk. The players, they are not drunk at the moment, no. You can make an argument for last night. You can make an argument that that's where, that's for sure. I do know that some of the players are definitely taking shots in between some of their matches. For sure. But here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Telkamac. We have... Oh. Bam. There we go. We have our red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself. We have... Oh, wait, what? Oh my god. No wonder I was so confused. It's time to meme it up, Papi. It's time to meme it up. There's a story behind this. We'll get into it. We have now. He was Terran. He has switched to Protoss. It is uThermal. Oh boy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is sOs. Now, if you were here last night, you would know that uThermal, he played nothing but Terran during the group stage, but except for one game. There was one game where he switched to Protoss. If you remember, during the interview that he had on the casting couch, on the main stream, he spoke about how he was only going to switch to he wanted to switch to Protoss at one point, but he would only switch if he loses with Terran. Like, if he loses a game in a series with Terran, then he will switch to Protoss. And that did happen last night in the group stage, and it's happening here as well. So he will lose game 2 as Terran, so now he switches to Protoss. Oh boy. And what I will say, if you're watching uThermal versus Zaun last night, uThermal, he was looking pretty good against Zaun. Like, he was even ahead. He was ahead at multiple points of that game. If you missed it, I recommend the VODs. We were lucky enough to cast uThermal versus Zaun, but yeah, uThermal, he was actually looking really good against Zaun. Zaun won the series, but uThermal, he did not look bad at all against him with his Protoss. So, mate, if uThermal can take it to Zaun, he can take it to SOS, for sure. Let's go. As uThermal, he's setting up a proxy pylon towards the left-hand side. Does go for an economic opener, so Gate Cyber Expand out of uThermal, but going for the proxy. Meanwhile, SOS likewise are doing the same thing. So we do have another economic opener here out of SOS. SOS setting up his own proxy pylon. Faster Nexus for uThermal. SOS is a little bit delayed, as I believe SOS he went for the faster Cyber Core. And we'll see what we proxy. Are we both going proxy Stargate? Is that what's happening? Oh no, 2 gate. Okay, 3 gates back at home and a proxy. I would imagine 4th gateway across the map. There's going to be a 2 base 4 gate all in. Meanwhile, SOS going for a proxy Stargate for economic damage. Let's go. Let us go. So uThermal's going for an all in. Basically, this natural, it's almost like a fake natural base. It's meant to look normal. It's meant to look standard, but it's anything but. If the depth does get in, that should not have happened. SOS gets a full scout of the main. He does see the gateway explosion. That's a massive tell. Again, there shouldn't be this many gateways this early on. SOS, he knows something's wrong. He knows that something is wrong, but this Stargate won't help in the defense. Not initially. Remember, this Stargate is built for an Oracle to get economic damage in the main. Boys are being pulled. Probes are going down. uThermal taking some hits. Taking some damage. Here comes the Oracle. And what's scary here is that on the one hand, yes, uThermal, he's all in, but because he's all in, that's why his economy is even more important, because it's so limited, right? He barely has any probes to begin with. He finds it. No shot. He finds the proxy, and it looks like he will not deny the Oracle. The Oracle will barely pop out in time. That was very close. The Oracle does pop out, making its way towards the main. uThermal, he has 1 Stalker in position to defend. And it's go time. He's sending everything across the map. We have a shield battery on the way. We have a sentry. We have 2 Stalkers. Can uThermal break through? Can he break SOS? SOS into the main. Probes are going down. Again, it was only 1 Stalker to defend. It's going to be 4 probe kills. Pylon under fire. He will depower the shield battery. Shield battery is depowered. Now, pushing up this ramp is going to be difficult, but he can take over the natural. Oh, that's going to be 10 probes. Ooh, that Oracle gets 10 worker kills across the map. uThermal's economy is crippled, but he should kill this base. Again, there's no way for SOS to move down this ramp. If he tries to, bam, force field. You just force field the ramp and you just lock him down. So this base, it's gone. So Mark, very nicely done. He does kill a base for free. Does kill the expansion. SOS, he's stuck in his main. And uThermal, he can probe. He can get ahead. He can get ahead. He can take a lead. I'd have to say thread in the shade. Doesn't commit. Ready for the force field. Up, up. Oh my god. Does miss it. Does miss the force field. There was potential there. Ooh, one base going into DTs. I mean, hey, when behind, Dark Shrine. Oh. Able to force field. Adepts, they do threaten another shade. And SOS, who will eventually break out. Adepts, they commit. Uh-oh. And back at home, uThermal, he's vulnerable. Now, what's scary about DTs, as uThermal, does he notice? Does he see what he saw? Does he see what he saw, Pat? Yeah. Did he notice the Dark Shrine? That was only for a second. Only for a second. For all he knows, that could be a pylon, and so far, zero detection. Zero detection. DTs, they can end the game. Yeah, the probes are going down. 6 worker kills already. uThermal, he is hurting. He has a base, but he has no economy. And zero detection. There's no robo. There's no robo. There's no Stargates. As we mentioned, the hallucination saw a glimpse of that building, but I don't think he clicked on it. And again, at a glance, it looks like a pylon. Oh boy. So with that, we have a delayed hallucination scouts from uThermal. Dark Shrine is now done. But uThermal, he'll see this doesn't matter though. Because Dark Templar, they're warping in. There we go, now he confirms, and what can he do? What can uThermal do? Robo just now begins. So Robo's on the way. He can force field the ramp, true. He can at least force field. The big brain play is if SOS tried to target down the sentry. If he killed the sentry. DT's waddling up the ramp. Do we force field in time? No, he doesn't notice. He does not notice. Okay, okay, he does. Does towards the end. Sentry goes down. DT's wreaking havoc. DT's defend back at home. And remember, zero detection for uThermal. Cybercore's under fire. Probes are being targeted. And this is going to be critical damage. The Robo just now finished. You can see how long it takes to make the Robo, then to make the Observer. Cybercore goes down. Mining is denied. That's why he's waddling in. You can just go for the sentries, to be honest. But it's going to be cleaned up. Oh, nice blink control. Now, as it all settles here, SOS, he does have 36 workers. He's up 8 probes compared to his opponent, so SOS does have the greater economy. Likewise, he has the greater tech as well. We have Blink that is... I actually say that. Blink is done for uThermal. Blink is still on the way for SOS, so he's catching up when it comes to tech. Immortal production has already begun here for SOS, so he's going to be up in tanks. Sorry, say tanks, up in Immortals. The tank of the Protoss army. And I do prefer SOS's position here. uThermal does have the larger Stalker count currently. Oh, he fans out. Hello. Does fan out. Prism's looking for a way in. Looking for a way in here. As uThermal, he is getting a faster third, so this is his way to recover. To recover economically is to rush into a third base. SOS, he's staying on 2. Hallucinations do confirm, so uThermal, he knows. And we have 2 more gates. Yeah, 2 more gates on the way. This does look like a 2-base all-in out of SOS. Waiting for a third Immortal, then a Warp Prism, and then it's go time. I should say, I mean, the Prism's already out. Prism's already out. And soon SOS will break free. It's going to be on uThermal to try to slow this down, to maybe catch the Warp Prism. Oh. Speaking of, Prism does survive. SOS has the high ground. Catching a Stalker. And uThermal has to be so wary, so careful here. uThermal, he now has a worker lead, but again, that's because SOS, he hasn't been making probes until now. Getting another expansion. Does get a third, but here comes a push. SOS, he has how many? Oh, getting to 6 gates. Well, Prism goes down. Nice catch. Okay. Nice catch by uThermal. Behind this is uThermal. He has basically a mass Stalker army. Has a couple of force fields. And he's going to catch out the Immortals. He gets one. He gets one. Gets two. Going to get all three. Yeah, nice catch here from uThermal. Snipes all 3 Immortals. And that was the backbone of SOS's army. That's all he had. He has to back up. Has to get the hell out of here. Does kite back. Kites well. Takes on the Zealots. Oh, bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. I'd say that was a better trade for uThermal. Catching all 3 Immortals. And given time, uThermal can build up a greater army. Just build up. Again, I assumed that SOS was going for a 2-base all-in, but he expanded. And he didn't throw down extra gateways. So he's just falling behind. SOS, he's falling behind at this point. You can see the supply disparity just get larger and larger in favor of uThermal. Just because of his economy. And because of how late this 3rd base is for SOS. Someone moving in. Catching out a couple of units. Getting in 4th base. Back at home, no cannons to defend, unfortunately. The DTs are moving in, but there is detection. And we're poking forward. uThermal, he never started +2, which is a bit of a concern. He never did start the upgrade. The other scary thing here is that SOS, he's getting a more complex army. Like, he's working towards Archons, Immortals, Charge as well. Oh, that's going to be 12 probe kills. This 1 DT, Jesus. I say 1, the 2 DTs. Yeah, they're just wreaking havoc here. Despite the Observer damage is being done, uThermal just getting pulled apart. The 4th base is going to be denied. uThermal out of position. At the same time, warping into the main. There's a cancel. uThermal just getting torn apart. Likewise, a slow lot run by doesn't get much done. There's a recall back home. uThermal, he had potential, but just like the last game with his Terran, never started +2. That just now starting it. As he does bypass the army. A pylon, maybe a couple of probe kills. Not quite. Going straight for the natural. He's trying to. From here being turned away. And uThermal's in trouble at this point. He is in trouble here. uThermal, he has a really mobile army, that's true, just because he's so Stalker heavy. But in a head-on fight, look at this. Now we're up to 5, soon to be 6 Immortals. Already 6 Immortals. 6 Immortals, 5 Archons. Like, this is a very beefy army here for SOS. A very efficient army, maybe a better way of putting it. More so than uThermal's. And I guess in a way, similar to the previous game as well, like SOS, he's just been, his goal here is to just turtle to defend until he builds up this superior army. Prism goes down, warping into the main. Gets a pylon. Gets some damage. Anyway, SOS is racing all the way back home. Okay. Everything's turning around. That means that the expansion is exposed. Oh, never mind. Does respond. Does turn back around. Again, he's got his 6 Immortals. Just bullying back uThermal. Thermal pulls away. DTs are waddling in. He's got his own, but there are cannons. Cannons, they buy some time. DTs are still bust in. Two bust in. Yo, we got Blink on the way for the Dark Templar as well. Let's go. Our charge is done after uThermal. He's now incorporating a couple of Archons. He's now starting up his own Immortal production as well. He's getting there. And I just love how active uThermal's being here. And he needs to be, right? He needs to be active. He needs to rotate. It's on him to try to pull SOS apart. To try to. Oof, as he's bleeding out some key units here, Immortal goes down. I'm just worried about the moment where SOS decides to push, and I think that's this moment. We're there. We've made it. Yeah, he's pushing, and I don't think he can be stopped, I'll be honest. SOS, he breaks out, knocks down the expansion. uThermal coming in from behind. But he just cannot engage. Picks off an observer. And again, SOS, if he wanted to, he could just move in. Like he's playing very safely here, very carefully. He kills the fourth and then pulls away. Kills the fourth, then backs off. Which, to be fair, is technically the correct thing to do. Just maintain your lead. Or just maintain, yeah, just maintain yourself. Thermal long distance mining. So Thermal has a massive probe count. SOS has the army. And we are going for the base trade. Let's go. And again, I think this is the best option here, the best opportunity that uThermal has. Hey, just like on Pylon, just like the last game. Like, this is the best chance that uThermal has to try to win this. Going for the base trade. Let's go. SOS does hit the fourth. uThermal going straight for the natural, straight for the main. And again, uThermal's army should be faster. True. Should be faster. DTs, they knock down another expansion. Probes, they try to escape. And some workers will attempt to get away. uThermal, he can afford a Nexus. But the probes, will they survive? Down to 4. Down to 4. Down to 2. 2 probes left. Down to 1. Oh my god, one probe survives. Start the base. Oh my god. Throw it down somewhere. As SOS, he doesn't go into the main. He could, if he wanted to. Never mind, he could go into main. He turns back around. And he's going to defend. Oh my god, we have a wall of cannons here. SOS, he's ready. Looking to sandwich the army. Collapsing on uThermal. uThermal has to get the hell out of here. He's going to be forced to take the fight. And the Immortals, they have arrived. Yeah, and GG gets called again. uThermal, he cannot fight head on. And SOS, he will take game number 3. GG. GG, well played. SOS, he will take a lead in the series here. And SOS is 1 game away from claiming the series and advancing on into the next round. uThermal, again, he was able to hold his own. He had some good moments here in this game, but as we saw as the game progressed, as the game went on, he did kind of lose that lead, that he lost that advantage. It was very shaky though, very back and forth. Again, both players had their moments. In the end, SOS, he, as we mentioned, as he built up the superior army with mass Immortal, mass Archon, a death ball of an army, if you will. GG. GG, well played. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. And we'll see if uThermal commits to Protoss or if he switches back to Terran. Again, we know that he switched to Protoss because he lost the game with Terran. Now that he lost the game with Protoss, does he switch back to Terran? Like, what's it going to be? What I will say, though, is that, again, like, the skill level between uThermal's Protoss and SOS's Protoss is not too large. Like, I could definitely see a world where uThermal could have won that game. Like, definitely, 100%. Like, if you recall, there was a moment where uThermal, he was up in economy, up in army, up in bases. That was the moment, though, when DTs got into the expansions. And I want to say 17 pros went down. It was 17 worker kills, and at the same time, SOS, he came in on the right-hand side, and he did force a cancel on the 4th of uThermal. Or I think he even killed the 4th base. Like, in one swift move, uThermal, he lost a mineral line, and he lost an expansion as well. And that's when SOS got himself back into the game. Clawed his way back in. As we are getting ready here for our next game. And again, uThermal still deciding on how he wants to approach this. On how he wants to take this. Maybe Zerg Cap. uThermal, he did mention yesterday in the interview, of course. He said that in the lead up to this tournament, he was practicing. He was doing customs, he was laddering, but he was specifically practicing his Terran and his Protoss. And he was actually playing more ladder games with his Protoss than with his Terran, which is interesting to say the least. He was practicing a lot of Protoss in preparation for this tournament. Unfortunately, he didn't say anything about Zerg, unfortunately. And speaking of, we have confirmation. Okay, our next game is going to be on Persephone, and it looks like uThermal, he is picking Protoss. We'll see if he does commit to that or if he does switch out. Our eyes are on uThermal. Oh. Are we switching back to Terran? What's it going to be? Here we go. We have our answer here. So uThermal, he is switching back to Terran. So he played that one game with Protoss, which again, he had his own moments in that game. He definitely could have taken it himself, but now he's switching back to what he does best. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Terran player. Oh. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the player from the land of the Netherlands. Down in the series 1 to 2, it is uThermal. There we go. So just fixing up his in-game name and spawning. He is remarkable. True, he is. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 2-1 and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is sOs. Here we go. And again, really impressive Protoss play there by uThermal in the last game. Again, like, there were definitely moments where he was ahead and he had a lead against SOS for sure. The pressure was on SOS to recover and to try to bounce back, and he was able to. Again, shout out to the Dark Templar. They were a big part of that game for both players. Now we're settling back into a PvT. From here, once again, Rax expands, economic overrun. Sorry, I keep saying Rax expand. Every game so far, it's been Rax into factory, into a delayed CC, into reactor Hellion. But this time, it's going to be a CC before factory. Yeah, this time, economic opener. Okay. Or did I speak too soon? That's a probable delay. And the CC is going to be thrown down. Okay, so yeah, command center before factory. So this is the greediest opener we've seen by uThermal so far in this series. Game 1 and Game 2, he was going for a faster factory and faster commitment into Hellions. This is the first time where he's just going into a much faster command center instead. So a much more economic start here by uThermal. SOS back at home, just going for his Kate Cyber Expand. Standard opener out of SOS. Now, every PvT that we've seen so far tonight, SOS has gone for robo-based openers. Of course, on Pylon, he went just straight up for a robo opener. Meanwhile, in Game 1, we saw a delayed robo after a commitment into extra gateways. but all roads led to Ro. Like, all roads led to Colossus. And yep, there it is, Robo. Oh, this time it's Proxy, though. Okay. Proxy Robo out of SOS is looking to spice things up here in the final, and potentially the final game. Let's go. Looking to end it in style. Setting up with the Proxy Robo, Proxy Gateway as well to reinforce. And for the time being, uThermal, he's not aware. Did SCV scout. Did get eyes on the opener. Behind this, going for what looks to be a mine drop. And the drop is going to be important. Now, a couple of things here. Unfortunately, this time, once again, no Reaper. There's no Reaper. There's also no Hellion. So this means that the follow-up scout is going to be delayed. Because there's no Reaper scout, there's no Hellion scout either. It's going to be a Widowmine scout instead. Like, from uThermal, he's going to be relying on the drop here to get scouting information. So he doesn't know that tech is missing. He doesn't know that there's a proxy. And by the time he does, it may be too late. Just because of the chosen build here from uThermal, which is just a much later scout. Oh, but he's checking. He's playing safe. He does check it. He does find the proxy. Let's go. Does find it. Is now aware. Ooh, the Immortal has arrived. And back at home, we have more bunkers on the way. There's now more bunkers. I'm loving the Viking here as well. In case there was to be a prism with this, we can see there isn't. It's just straight up Immortal. So that Viking's going to have limited uses. As there is no War Prism, at least not yet. Widowmines are set. Shields are triggered. Shield wires, they shut down 2 of those Marines. Tank is on the way, and the depot will fall. Takes down the depot. Tanks are moving in. Yeah, the tank is yet to arrive, but so far uThermal, he is holding his own. Prism's on the way, which means the Viking will come into play here. He already has the Viking. He already has something for the War Prism. Tank has arrived. SOS rotating towards the main. uThermal, he does spot the rotation. Does own. Nicely done. Set up here from uThermal. Building up more tanks. SOS behind this, looking to expand. Correct call. Yeah, right now he's just containing uThermal, and back at home he's been probing, taking up in towards the Twilight Council to charge into potentially a third base. As SOS, he is not making another Immortal. Takes down a Widowmine. Throws down 3 more gateways, getting up to a 6-gate setup on 2 bases. Liberator has arrived. Doesn't get much done. Drop into the mineral line. Gets an SCV. Gets a turret. And another worker. Now, this is actually quite similar to Game 1 and Game 2. SOS, he delays his third base very heavily. Very heavily here. He's going for a gateway explosion first, going for a forge into +1, into gases. Very, very dedicated here on 2 bases before expanding. And then he goes for a late third. What this means is that uThermal, he should not break out. Or he shouldn't push out, I should say. It's going to be difficult if he does. We'll get there. It's already the Immortals 8 out on the tank. First tank goes down. Gets one, now going for the other. Oof. And a brutal cleanup here. Takes down both tanks. Yeah, unfortunately, uThermal tried to break out of the contain. This was not the call to make. As we mentioned, SOS, he intentionally delayed his third base by so much to get this. To make more Zealots to get charged. To build up his army first. So SOS, he wanted uThermal to push out. Ooh. Brutal SimCity. And now uThermal, he's hurting. He lost a lot of supply. Yeah, tanks are going down. SOS, now he can go for the kill. Boys are being pulled, and he can focus down another one of these tanks. Ooh, does bring it down. Gets 9 SCV kills. Will lose the Immortals, true. It's going to be a costly trade here for SOS. They're ready doing what they can. Now, was that worth it? SOS, he lost 2 Immortals and a Prism for 2 tanks and 9 SEVs. I mean, again, SOS's economy is not what it ideally would be. Just because how late his third base was. Go +1 on the way, Stim on the way. uThermal is still in this. Denying mining. Let's go. But again, uThermal, he should not push on 2 bases. That's my big concern here. You can see that SOS is banking up an army, and again, he wants uThermal to break out of this siege setup. Like SOS, he can't push into winter mines, bunkers, siege up tanks, but hey, if the army's out in the open, then SOS can engage. Speaking of, SOS, he spots the move out. He does see the army, and he's getting ready. Yep, going for the surround. As we mentioned, he wanted uThermal to push out, and he did. He does move out. He's going to be completely swallowed up here, losing everything: the Marines, the tanks, and that might just be game. As uThermal, he has almost nothing left. He's down to 1 tank, one winter mine, a couple of Marines. Again, just because of the overall setup here that SOS has had, he wants uThermal to push, and he's been doing it. He gets what he wanted. And from here, now SOS can take a 4th. He can just take a 4th base, take another expansion. He can start working towards Colossus production, true, into a bay, into Colossus. It's a really rough position to be in. Winding it back from a couple of minutes ago, the great thing from there for uThermal, if he was aware of how late the third was and how little economy there was, would just be to turtle. Wait for a 3rd TC, just build up on 2 bases, and then slowly expand and not try to be active on the map. It doesn't feel good to be stuck at home in such a way, for sure. That's very understandable. Very understandable, but the alternative is that you give SOS what he wants. And with that, now SOS is taking a 4th base. Double drop across the map. Drop play, true. Also, can excel. Denies the base, not bad. Denies the 4th. SOS, he races everything back home. And uThermal can now take a 3rd. Now, something that's like the silver lining here, I mean, SOS is still ahead, don't get me wrong. SOS, he's still not been making probes, like, so his working count is still very low. He's been very adverse to making workers. This entire series, not even just this game, but the entire series. SOS, he hasn't been one to make too many workers. Even here, hasn't rebuilt his 4th base either. Pushing in, takes down the medevac. Once he engaging in the army, SOS is moving in. I don't think he needs to though. He's pushing into a choke point, but he might still have enough anyway. Tanks, they hold the line. Likewise, Zealots are going to be going down. But SOS, he still trades well enough. And he might not break the natural, but he's containing. He's still containing, still running the 3rd base. Prism gets sniped. SOS, he at least wants the 1st tank. Boys are being pulled. uThermal getting desperate. You can see here, heavily oversaturated. He just wants a 3rd base. He just wants a 3rd. Just wants to expand. And eventually he does, true. And again, this is where the lack of 4th is hurting SOS. Could have taken this earlier, could have been probing as well. Like it's not like uThermal was killing workers or anything, though. It's just SOS isn't making them. He's not he's just not probing. So there is still a chance. It's slim. It's not a big chance, but for now, does secure his third. And as we mentioned, similarly to what had to be the case of what 5+ minutes ago, uThermal, he has to just defend here on 3 bases, slowly get a 4th base. He can try to go for some drop play, but he should not be pushing with his main army. Otherwise, he'll be caught in the center by this. As SOS, he's sharking around, looking for a fight, looking for a straight units like this. Behind this, Bay is now on the way, 2nd Robo's on the way, getting to double Colossus production. 4th base now getting saturated, now the 5th base is on the way, let's go. At this point, it seems like, okay, SOS, he's now more macro brain. He's like, okay, we're gonna calm down, now we can just expand, tech up, a +3 is about to finish up, extend thermal lance, getting into upgrade, armor upgrades as well, 3-3. Calm down. Now, when it comes to his defensive setup here, he needs to get into, again, tanks, liberators. Ghost production would be ideal. He's lifting up his main base, now taking a 4th. Again, he's slowly breaking out. And you might be curious here as to, I mean, it's been a very interesting game here, but the supplies are so close, and uThermal, he's holding his own because SOS took so long not just to get his 3rd base, but it took a long time to get a 4th, to get a 5th, to actually make workers. Like, again, his own economy was stifled by, I would say, by himself. He's very committed. So uThermal, he's slowly recovering, but Prism into the main. Prism does get in. SOS does push in towards the 3rd. He cannot push in towards the siege line. And nice kiting from uThermal. Does kite back. Tank boy's going off, getting top of the Archon. Meanwhile, 11 SCV kills in the main. Ooh, and Celtic coming from behind. They're getting some of the tanks. Yeah, the tanks are exposed. Massive pickoffs. Tanks are going down. The 3rd base as well. And SOS, he's done it. SOS, he breaks through, takes down 31 SCVs. uThermal, he overreacted here into the main. He was out of position, and GG gets called with that SOS. He will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the upper bracket semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to your SOS. He will claim the series. A very intense back and forth as well. Even though it was 3-1 in favor of SOS, there were plenty of games here where uThermal, he was able to hold his own, even referring to the PvP game as well, and even referring to the game on Pylon. Game 2 and Game 3, I can definitely see a world where uThermal could have taken those games as well. This one was a little bit more one-sided, where uThermal initially, he did react well to he scouted the proxy, he scouted the robo, he was able to defend, but it didn't seem like he recognized how committed his opponent was on 2 bases. So we saw, I want to say it happened almost 3 times this game, where uThermal, he tried to be active on the map and he got punished for it. He got punished time and time again, losing any kind of semblance of momentum that he otherwise could have had. GG. GG, well played with that. SOS, he will claim the series. Congratulations, and my condolences to uThermal, but he did a great job making it this far. And again, I could definitely see a world where he could have taken down SOS as well. It was a very close series despite the scoreline, and for uThermal to make it out of the groups, again, did surprise many to make it through the group stage. GG. GG, well played. And you know what this means? This means that uThermal, now he can have some drinks. Now he can enjoy HomeStory Cup. Let's go. Doesn't have to worry about competing anymore. He can just calm things down and open some chelas, baby. Let's go. Let's go. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are now getting ready for our next matchup. Now, over in the mainstream, I believe they just wrapped up. With Lambo versus Showtime. I'm not entirely certain as to who took that series, but if you were keeping an eye on it, would appreciate to let us know. I think it was Showtime, as they're having a winners interview.
Like he was going straight Hydra. So I feel like...
Yeah. They're just now conducting the interview. Fun fact, both these series, they actually finished at the same time. they just finished at the same time. Both SOS and uThermal and Showtime and Lambo, and that means we're moving on to our next matchup here. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's go. Un momento. as we do refresh and catch up on said bracket. Here we go. Okay, from the top, we have SOS. sOs takes down uThermal 3-1, advancing on to the upper bracket semifinals. Showtime takes down Lambo 3-2. That was over on the mainstream. And now we have a PvP between SOS and Showtime. That is going to be in the upper bracket semifinals. But before the semis, we have to wrap up the lower bracket. We have to wrap up the quarterfinals. Up next, we have Zan versus Big Gabe. That is going to be on the mainstream. Just as a heads up, that's going to be over on the mainstream. They're going to be covering that PvT. We are going to be covering the TvT between Ryung and Baby Marine. Maybe not a baby anymore. Baby Marine, he had a crazy performance earlier. Scrolling up here, you can see Baby Marine, he was able to advance on second place at a Group B over Spirit. Big win here. Like, Spirit was favored to come out alongside Showtime, but no, Spirit was denied, and instead Baby Marine made it out instead. So again, he did have a crazy result. I will say though that Ryung, his best matchup is TvT, 100%. Ryung, he's one of the big reasons why Clem no longer plays Terran in TvT, or why he avoids a TvT matchup. So this is where Ryung thrives. This is his element, is what I will say. It's his strongest matchup. So it's going to be quite a challenge here for Baby Marine. Best of luck. Best of luck here to our Italian Terran player, as we are going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a break here. When we come back, we'll have our next series. Oh, they're giving SOS an interview. Oh, hold on. Yo, shout out to SOS.
해가지고 너무 긴장이 됐는데 또 상대 선수 스타일이 좀 특이하잖아요. 그래서 깡고 좀 아집 싸움 했는데 져서 좀그 약간 심리전에서는 많이 졌던 것 같아요.
First of all, it's a very long time for the offline tournament and for the abroad, and so it was very nervous a little bit, and so it just try to close eye and want to play his own play.
Did you expect him to play Protoss at all? Because in one of the games it was a Protoss versus Protoss.
유성월 선수가 프로토스로 플레이할 거를 예상하셨나요? PVP를 하게 될 거를?
1대1 상황에서는 안 할 것 같았고 제가 2대0으로 리드하고 있으면 할 것 같았는데 좀 1대1에서 해서 조금 의외였어요.
He think that he expect when if I lead with the 2-0, he can do the PvP, but it was a little bit surprised he choose the Protoss at the 101.
You have any questions, Fiant?
Are you surprised with how good he was? Like he was fairly far ahead, right?
유성월 선수가 생각보다 잘해가지고 놀라셨나요 혹시?
우선 게임을 굉장히 좀 특이하게 해가지고 제가 원래 테란전 할 때 절대 쫄지 않거든요. 근데 오히려 제가 완전 긴장하고 수비적인 입장에서 하니까 좀 내가 원래 게임을 저렇게 했는데 약간 거울치료 제대로 당해서 너무 힘들었어요.
It was very hard because 유성월's playing style is very special and very unexpected. So usually SOS play like that, so it was very special experiments for like the play against. It feels like to play against myself.
Yeah, so your next opponent is going to be Showtime. It's a lot more predictable, a lot more straightforward, I guess, in that mind, at least compared to uThermal. Is that an easier opponent, you think, therefore? Because maybe uThermal is crazy, but Showtime is very strong.
다음 상대는 이제 쇼타임 선수인데 쇼타임 선수는 이제 유성월 선수보다는 조금 더 전형적으로 게임하고 좀 더 무난하게 플레이하는 스타일인데 어떻게 좀 더 편하다고 생각할지 아니면은 어렵다고 생각할지.
게임 스타일로는 편하기는 한데 워낙 단단한 선수라서 그냥 좀 쉽지 않은 경기 될 것 같아요. 그 해외 토스 중에 제일 잘하는 것 같아서 그냥 좀 편하게 하려고요.
I think it's not gonna be very easy game because the Showtime is he plays like very stable and very defensively. So it's very gonna tough game. I think. Yeah.
Okay. So your overall shape right now seems to be really good. Like I see you cheese a little bit less this tournament at least compared to like, for example, GSL. Are you feeling like you can win the entire event here? Do you think you're going to be able to win?
GSL이나 다른 시리즈에 비해서 올인이나 이런 플레이가 좀 많이 적었던 것 같은데 이게 그게 좀 그렇게 해서 이기실 수 있을지 어떨지 앞으로 게임에서.
우선 그 전에는 경기 수가 워낙 많다 보니까 약간 조금 다양한 빌드보다는 그냥 손 가는 대로 했던 것 같고, 이제 또 쇼타임 선수랑 할 때는 좀 빌드로 이기고 싶은데 푸프전은 빌드가 없어요. 그래서 그냥 실력 싸움 해야 될 것 같습니다.
Before the playoff, he should play very many games, so he plays like the leather game. Then he prepared his strategy. So but versus Showtime the game that will. He said PvP is there no strategy.
Okay.
So he'll gonna play like the very normal or just what's gonna do what is gonna work. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, has a little bit of time to prepare.
Yeah.
A little bit. Any final questions, Fiant?
No.
All right.
Other than good luck.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
GG's. Oh, one more thing. SOS, could you sign it? Could you sign it? Oh, there you go. Yeah. We keep forgetting to ask everybody. Yes, anywhere you like. Oh, I think it's upside down. Yes. Maybe for the signature, it doesn't matter much. Thank you. All right.
And shout to SS. Shout to SOS for a brief interview with the boys, with Fiant and with Loco. Again, GG will play Showtime and SOS. It will advance on into the upper bracket for semifinals. Unfortunately, that does mean that both uThermal and Lambo, they will be stepping out. They'll be stepping away here. They're both knocked out of the tournament. As we mentioned, though, up next, we still have another matchup ready for us. It's going to be a TvT between Ryung and Baby Marine. We're going to be going on a bit of a break. The players need some time here to set up, to get their PCs up and running, to get them going, to get ready here for the next match. So we're going to be going on a bit of a break here. When we come back, we'll have that TvT ready for you. See you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.